Hello guys and welcome back to Car Obsession. If you are a new viewer, hello, thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to my channel, my name's Aaron. In this video I'm joined by the brand new Ford Focus Active, and as you can probably tell by the title, I am going to be going through the safety features. Now as standard, the Active, well this is actually the Active X, so it does come with a few more features. As standard I get 6 airbags, autonomous emergency braking, and I get lane keep assist and lane departure warning. However, this car does have a few options. So I've got adaptive cruise control, excuse me, I've got lane centering assist, and I've also got the park assist, and I've also got a rear view camera as well. As standard I get front and rear parking sensors but no camera. So yes, right, so I think it's time to hit the road so I can test out the features and give you my thoughts on them. Right, so before we do anything, let me try the park assist. Now that bay is big enough for this car. So I've got a button down here. Yep, that's the one I want. Space found. Okay. Yep. Make sure nothing's coming. Right, now I must confess I did try the park assist yesterday and it didn't work very well. So let's see how we get on today. It does appear to be working quicker than it did yesterday. Hopefully you can see on my head-mounted camera. Okay, so it's finished. So let's see how well it has done. Let me quickly jump out. Yeah, that's not too bad to be fair. It's not really close to the curb. I must admit, you know, it could have done with getting a little bit closer. It's not quite a foot's length of, well, it almost is actually. Yeah, it is parked, but I think it could have got a little bit closer to the curb in my opinion. But it is straight. Yesterday the car didn't park itself straight. Okay, the front bumper is overhanging the line, but it is parked. It's not the greatest job in the world. But if you really struggle with parallel parking, this could be a good feature for you. I'm back. Turn that off. I also have a feature where it can bring you out of a parallel parking situation. So once again, press the button. I need this one here, select side. And I did it by indicating, shift it into neutral, foot on brake, hold the park button. It's taking me backwards. Make sure nothing's coming. And there we go, I'm ready to go out. So it has finished. And I just simply go out like so. Although putting the car into drive might be a good idea, Aaron. You can't go anywhere neutral. Now, 2 features I've got to mention. I've got blind spot warning and I've also got rear cross traffic alert, but they are optional extras. Now, I'm a big fan of adaptive cruise control. If you don't know how it works, basically it's like your standard cruise control, but you've got radars and sensors, meaning that let's say you set it to 70 miles per hour, or in this case 60, and the car in front of you slows down, you slow down. If that car then speeds back up, you speed up. And it's fantastic because it just means you have very minimal work. Just may as well set it to 60. And I can increase or decrease the gap by pressing this button. So I can drop back if I want to. As you can see, the lorry is now pulling away from me. And if I want to shorten the gap, I simply press that button, and as you can see, I soon catch up. So the adaptive cruise control works very well, and I've got lane centering assist. So if I take my hands off the wheel for a few moments, you'll see it keeps me in my lane, which is very good indeed. Marvellous. Right, let me slow down. So I'm now entering a full 40 zone. So the adaptive cruise control works well, and so does the lane centering assist. So those are very good features. Right, in a few moments I will test out the lane departure warning and the lane keep assist. So stay tuned. Actually, before I do the lane departure warning, let me quickly run through the speed limiter. So the speed limiter does come as standard. So I've got a button down here marked lim. Hit it like so, and I can set my speed to, set it to 30. And now if I try to go above 30, it won't let me, not unless I really kick down on the throttle. As you can see, it won't let me go past 30. So that system works very well, although a speed limiter isn't exactly groundbreaking, is it? Another handy thing about the speed limiter is it works alongside the traffic sign recognition, and it will change the speed limit. So a minute ago I was doing 30 miles per hour. It then saw this sign for 20 miles per hour and then dropped the speed limit on the speed limiter to 20. So it should pick up, there we go. Now we've hit 30 miles per hour, it has increased to 30 miles per hour automatically. Very handy indeed. I'll tell you where that feature comes in handy. So let's say you're on the motorway and you've got a variable speed limit. Let's say you set the speed limiter to 70 miles per hour, and then it happens to drop down to 50 miles per hour. You won't need to do anything because the system will pick up that the speed limit has changed to 50 miles per hour and automatically drop it. So that's a handy feature if you ask me. It just helps to take some of the burden of longer journeys. Now, as you can imagine, it's very tricky to test the autonomous emergency braking in real world conditions because I don't want to cause a crash. So I won't be testing that feature out. But from day-to-day use, it works fine. It's not too intrusive. Sometimes it can kick in a little bit premature, but it's no worse than other systems I've used. So the AEB works fine. Well, from what I've experienced, obviously. Thankfully, I've not needed to actually call upon it, but I would have confidence if I did need to do so. Well, whilst I'm stuck behind this bus, which is pootling, you can change the safety systems. You can turn them off or amend them. You've got a button down here, actually. You can change the display on here, like so. So let me go to the driver assist. You then hit this button here. You've got 3 dots with 3 lines next to them. And as you can hopefully see, it does bring up a sub-menu. So if I wanted to, I can turn the blind spots monitoring off. I can turn the autonomous emergency braking off. The full brand name for it, as it were, is pre-collision assist. Or I could turn the traffic sign recognition off. And in regard to the lane keeping system, I can actually change the intensity. So I can have it to high, which is what it is on now. I can have it on normal, or I can have it on low. So when you do depart out of the lane, or when you do straight out of the lane, the steering wheel vibrates. So that setting's really to amend how strong you want the vibrations to be. So I've got it set to high, so it's a very noticeable vibration in the steering wheel. And then as you can see, well, as you can hopefully see at the top, you've got mode. So I can either have an aid, so I can simply have the lane keep assist on, or I can just have the lane departure warning on, or as I've got it here, I can have both. I can have my cake and eat it. So the lane keep assist and lane departure warning are now active. So if I go straight out of my lane, as you can see, it brings me back in. It should also vibrate the steering wheel. Oh, the system's turned itself off because there's a kink in the road. Wait for it to turn back on. Yep, there we go. And the steering wheel is vibrating in my hands. Some of you may prefer an audio warning, so like a bong, but you don't get it in this car. You just get a vibrating steering wheel. Right, let me try the park assist once more. I'm going to try parking into a bay. So I've got a few spaces here. So I've got a big space there. And this was an area where the focus didn't do too well yesterday. Okay, so this time I want bay parking, so scanning. So hopefully it should dump me in that one. Oh, space found, stop. Yep. Okay. So as you can see, hands are off the steering wheel. Now I know, guys, it's difficult to judge how well it's done because there aren't any actual white lines for a bay here, but hopefully it will give you a good idea. What I will say though is the system does seem to take longer than the Citroen C5 Aircross. Oh, it's getting me quite close to that Polo. Oh no, that's fine. See, I would say that's fine, but the car clearly thinks it can do a little bit better. And there we go, it's finished, and it automatically puts the car into park. You may have seen the rotary dial spin there. Let me quickly go out and assess how well it's done. So as I said, there's no bays, so it's difficult to really ascertain how well it did, but as you can see, it has parked pretty straight, and it has done a better job than what it did yesterday. So I'm glad I tried it again today, because that's quite straight. There's enough gap between the Focus and the Polo next to me. And to be fair, it has done pretty well, but what I will say is that it just seems to take quite some time to do the manoeuvre. So let's say you've got traffic, or basically what I'm trying to say is you will hold people up if you use this manoeuvre. Well, use this feature, I should say. I actually used it in a Tesco car park yesterday. I glanced up and I had a woman in a Mercedes, and she wasn't best impressed watching me faff about with my park assist. So the system does work. Is it seamless? Is it faultless? No. So it is a handy feature if you aren't a fantastic parker, but in all honesty, it's quicker to do it yourself. Even if you're not a confident parker, I still think it'll be quicker just to persevere and do it yourself, in my humble opinion. Not unless you happen to be really bad at parking. But if you're that bad, you probably shouldn't have a driving licence, if you ask me. But that's merely my humble opinion. Anyway, we are back on a stretch of road. That is 40 miles per hour. So I should be able to give the lane departure warning another spin. So go up my lane. And it brings me back in. It's quite responsive, actually. I had a Ford Focus last year. I had an ST line hatchback, and I found that the lane keep assist was a little bit slow, a little bit sluggish to pick up. For whatever reason, it does definitely feel more responsive in this car. It is quicker to bring me back into my lane. Odd, because it's the same technology, it's the same car, not the exact same model, of course, but it's the same feature. So I don't understand why it works better in this car than the ST line I had last year. Interesting. Right, let me slip into this Tesco so I can hopefully test out the rear cross traffic alert. So let me pop myself into this bay here. Oh, there we go. Hopefully you saw that I seized an opportunity. I saw that transit coming. That transit! And I thought I'd quickly pop the car into reverse. As you can see, that Defender's going. If I move backwards. Okay, interesting. He didn't trigger the rear cross traffic alert. I thought he would have done. I'll give it a few more moments to see whether any more cars come and go. Come or go. Ah, got a Mazda coming in. There we go. And it comes up on the screen, cross traffic alert. Fantastic. Right, so to finish off, let's test out the blind spot monitoring. Now, if you've been skipping through the video and you're thinking, well, hang on, what about the autonomous emergency braking? Well, as I said earlier, in case you missed it, it's a bit difficult to test out such a feature in real world conditions. I don't want to cause a crash. So probably best not to test it on the public road. I'm sure we can all agree. Right, so let me hang back because I need to wait for traffic to come past me. And I'm not going very fast, but yet it's taken a while for traffic to catch up with me. Oh, that'll do it. Traffic lights. So guys, what you're looking for is an orange dot on the wing mirror. There we have it. And if I were to indicate, as you can see, it's now flashing, basically telling me, Aaron, don't do that. That would be silly. So hopefully get it to trigger again when this BMW comes past me. There we go. And once again, when I go to indicate, it flashes. So that system works pretty well, I'm sure you'll agree. However, I'd be concerned if it didn't. So I will find somewhere to pull over and give you a conclusion. So there we have it, guys. The safety systems of the brand new Ford Focus Active, or Ford Focus Active X Estate, if you want to be really pedantic. Right, let me take this GoPro off my head and stop the recording like so. So to sum up, I think the safety systems in the Ford Focus Active do work well. I'm still not convinced by the park assist though, so I think that needs a little bit of fine tuning, but for the most part the safety systems work well. They give me confidence, they give me assurance. So if you're looking for a safe family car, then I would definitely recommend the Focus. So to sum up, you've got the blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert. They work very well. You've got the adaptive cruise control and the the lane centering assist. Again, they work well. The lane departure warning and lane keep assist, they work well. The autonomous emergency braking, which I didn't test in this video, but from experience, it's worked fine. It hasn't been too intrusive. Of course, I've got 6 airbags. And I've got the speed limiter. So the Ford Focus does have a good host of safety features. Okay, I will admit some of them are optional, but if you want to have that extra peace of mind and extra safety, then it's worth paying the extra money. But if you don't want to pay the extra, you will still get a car that has been awarded 5 stars by Euro NCAP. So this car is very safe indeed. Right, time for me to end. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have found it useful or enjoyable. If so, please do give it a massive thumbs up. If you are subscribed, don't forget to click that bell icon so you get notified every time I make a video. And if you aren't subscribed, guys, what are you waiting for? Be sure to subscribe for more car obsession.